Hey, it's Amanda, and you are watching a segment from 100 Videos in 100 Days. This started out as a challenge to myself to prove that freedom can come from authenticity and vulnerability, and that life doesn't have to be perfect or look perfect, it doesn't have to feel perfect to be valuable, to really be valuable. And that you don't have to wait to share your gifts till it all looks a certain way. And this is also about what the cost is of waiting to share your gifts. I didn't have a YouTube channel before this. I never did a video of myself. I didn't even like to see myself in camera. So am I scared every time I do this? Yes. But I'm here. I'm showing up, because I'm committed to this conversation about freedom. And the freer I get, I believe the freer you will get. So I invite you to participate as you can. There's no editing here. I get one take. So if it all goes to hell, you go with me. There may be swearing, there may be crying. I may get up and walk around. It's the game. It's authentic and vulnerable. I will look different every day. So that's really the point of it, is in life there's no editing, there's no redos. So who are you going to be? How are you going to show up? What would that look like? And what would be possible if you just showed up exactly as you were and let the cards fall? Would that be freeing? It is to me. And if it is to you, I hope you get something out of these. If there's anything that I say that rubs you wrong or feels off, discard it immediately. It's not for you. It's for whoever needs it, and most likely for me. So when this turns off and the next one turns on, I will be sitting here quietly with my eyes closed. You're not walking into any special session that you're not supposed to see. Everything's transparent here. So I started this to have context in the beginning, because I can see people are jumping in the middle of the series, and I just want to make sure everyone feels included. So I will see you soon. That flush is popping up a little bit. I don't know if you can see it. This is now later in the day, and so the light changes constantly. But I'm starting to wonder if I've always felt that flush in my face, but because I'm just more connected to my body, I can feel it. Like maybe it was something I wouldn't even let myself notice, because that meant I was shy, or someone could see it, or I'm weak, I'm fragile, I don't know, whatever the bad stuff is. I'm wondering if I've always felt it and I just now catch it, because I'm catching a lot more things. So I just had an interesting experience, and I know that it's actually not interesting at all. But because of the way I watch my mind, it's interesting to me. But I have to kind of talk it out, because it just happened. But so yesterday I was talking about projections, and I just caught one. Now lots of times I catch it after I've already made an ass of myself, but at least I'm getting clues as to how they're popping up. So I actually went and signed up for the gym today. I was going to go the other day, actually 2 different days, and I'm taking other people that want to train with me, because I like to train in groups. So I was waiting for all that to fall in place. So we went to do that, and I went in to sign up. I already had, not anxiety, but just, my mind was already trying to protect me from the whole thing, because I used to work in gyms. I have all sorts of stories about gyms. And when I go into a gym, just the smell of it, the black stuff they have on the floor, the padding, like it's just a body memory, like memory. Nothing I care to remember, but it's there. So even before I went, I was already like getting these little pop-ups in my head, oh gosh, people are going to talk to you. I hope there's not a lot of people there. What if there's people you know? What if there's the guys that you used to work with that are there? All sorts of stories popping up. So I knew I could just drop that and let it be. And if there were people there, I knew fine. And if there were, like, I just know even if the smell or things brought memories back to me, I knew I could connect and be present and all that stuff. What I didn't catch was, and you should not pay the price they're going to ask you. You need to haggle. You need to barter. You need to negotiate. You should be able to do that. You should do that because you know how they fix the prices in the gyms. You shouldn't let them get away with it. You're more confident now. You're more direct. So you should do this. It's the right thing to do. It's the authentic thing to do. You should. You're right. Yep, I should do that. I should do that. And this is all just rolling through. But it felt true. I mean, it made sense. Getting a little pep talk from my buddy up here, right? But I wasn't paying attention to where it was coming from because it feels like, I would be giving myself, that would be self-serving. That would be, a good thing. I'd learn to be more assertive and I do know what the prices are. And that would be a good thing for me. And if I don't do it, that just means I'm afraid. And I'm not standing in my power, or whatever the latest phrase is. So all this got decided. So I already, and on top of it, like I already felt kind of agitated, like they're going to tell me what the price is, and they're going to tell me they can't do it, and then I'm going to have to say this, and I was already feeling the adrenaline start going through my body and all these things. I mean, I already saw the fight, I already felt the discontent when I walked in. I already felt like there was going to be a throwdown. It was stupid. So we go in there, hand me the prices, and this is the fairest gym you've ever seen in your life. The prices are below anyone else. It's a wonderful gym. They're wonderful owners. They used to work with my ex-husband. And I knew that their prices were good and fair. But I heard, you should. And I didn't question it. So when I went in there, they handed me the stuff, and it could have said it was $1 or $5,000. I was already in the projection of, I have to negotiate this. I should negotiate it. Because that means blah, 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 blah. If I don't do it, that means I'm weak, I'm cowardly, I'm not a good example to my kids, I don't value money, So I can hardly see the paper straight. I'm awkward, look agitated, I'm acting sharp, I'm answering sharply, and the whole time I'm going, what are you doing? These are really good prices. You know they're good prices. You couldn't give these prices 10 years ago to people. What are you doing? Like, you're actually very okay with these prices. And she's a nice lady, and he's a part owner or something. He's a very nice man. Oh no, just shit was coming out of my mouth. And it's like you witness it. You're like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Well, no, I've worked in a gym, so I know how this goes. Ugh. That's how I sounded, at least in my head. And yet the whole time I'm like, and I have no problem, just freaking pay it and we can go. Oh, no, I had to walk around, look at stuff. Ugh. Because I didn't question that voice. And it already showed me how it was going to go. And I didn't question that either. I walked right into it. Spectacular. So what I do, ended up paying it. I think I said I didn't want to do 18 months, I would do 12. And so, there was a little bit of negotiation there. But it wasn't, and they were gracious about it, like, okay, great, yeah. There was no fighting, there was no hostility. I'm sure they aren't maybe not looking forward to seeing me again. Although I got off my fake high horse and was good with them after I realized that I was full of shit. And then I got in the car and I was driving home and I thought, why did I do that? Because it was a genuinely good idea. I mean, I should negotiate it because the prices aren't fixed. They change them every day. They change them for people all the time. So what was wrong with that problem? Or that scenario? There was no problem at all. The issue was I didn't question you should. Because even when it comes across as a good thing, it's still not from you. It's still not from your heart source. It's this taking you on a ride. And I mean, I was looking at these people like they were out to get me. Very nice people. This was out to get me. And I honored it. So what I realized was, if you hear should or shouldn't, pump the brakes, because you're about to start a projection. If there wasn't one already going, which usually you're just kind of asleep and so it'll just run. But when you distinctly hear, you should, or you shouldn't, or any definitive word like that that's you have to or you need to, and it doesn't mean that those things aren't true, but question it first. You get to choose. Just like, oh, I got this feeling in me. What is it? I'm gonna sort it out myself. I'm not gonna take its opinion. I'm not gonna take society's opinion, because it's really the same. Whatever goes on here is what you're seeing outside of you. You'll find that you have a lot less challenges, problems, drama, unnecessary crap and bullshit going on if you question those very explicit terms of you should, or you shouldn't. Don't take advice from this, because it doesn't care. I mean, if I hadn't done it, it was going to come at me like, oh, I guess you really aren't about vulnerability and authenticity. Thought we'd grown here. Thought we'd done some real work. It doesn't care. It's coming from fear. And maybe it felt it would be afraid to be dominated because we really know what the prices are. So we're not going to let anyone get away with that. We're going to protect our territory. Only an ego has to defend. There's nothing in life you have to defend. Not really. Because if you had to defend it, you would just be in the motion of doing it. If a child's in harm's way, you're moving to protect the child. You don't sit there and go, you know what, dude, don't touch my kid. You're just in the process of doing it. You're not thinking about it before you do it. And that's where you want to be. In a projection, you start to have that conversation of like, what am I doing? What is coming out of my mouth right now? You don't recognize you because your soul has no involvement in this. I mean, it's there to witness it, but I just mean it's not from a creative place. It's not from a place of choice. It's just operating, and it's fine. You'll learn a lesson, just like I did. I noticed when they didn't give me exactly what I wanted, I didn't freak out. I didn't feel like they personally attacked me. That's a huge difference. They just had their way that they were going to do that, and I actually respected it. And I could understand it, and I knew they were being fair. I knew I was being weird. But when you feel that jerk in your stomach, or you feel like, why are you replying to a text and saying stuff, and you're watching it going, what am I doing? I don't even want to say that. I don't even want to agree to go. Or, someone says, how are you? And you're like, fine, I'm great. And you're like, no, I'm not. That's this running the projection. So when I hear should and shouldn't now, I'm going to really try and be aware of that. And any words that feel like there's a push or a force, it's different than feeling scared, like, creating something new, like these videos, right? My mind saying you should, you shouldn't. And my heart felt called to do it. It felt moving forward, even though the fear was there because this was screaming, this is a terrible idea. But if there's just instant movement and there's not a fighting, Go there, even if it feels scary. That doesn't matter. Your heart's not going to say, go over there and kill them, or go have a drink, or go. Your heart's not going to take you there. Those are places that take you into pain. So I think sometimes people they have that story of like, no, you have to keep that in there or we'll go off the deep end. So that's your super ego trying to manage everything to make sure you stay put in society, and that you'll always be loved, you'll always be safe, and it will pound these should and shouldn'ts into you. Because it's been watching. I mean, it observes how everybody responds to certain things. And it happens from the time you're tiny. This kid got this when he did it. This kid got in trouble when he yelled. You got in trouble when you did this. That person stopped talking to you when you did this. And it's taking notes. It's keeping record. So anytime you go near that situation, it throws the projection out ahead of time to protect you. So I was walking into a gym with hostile people and unfair prices. Not real at all. But if it thinks that's what it has to do to protect you, it's just going to send nonsense and get you pumped up and ready to fight. It puts you in fight or flight mode and there's nothing going on. So I'm really going to look for shoulds and shouldn'ts and whatever those other, to me those are the real 4-letter words, except they're longer. And that's why I say, like, offensive language. It doesn't bother me. They're expressive to me. But should and shouldn't, it's far nastier than an F word ever was. So I have to think about what the other words are and think about what those words are for you. I have to, or if I don't, anything that makes you start seeing images that are out there that make you feel afraid, that's projection coming. And like I said, you do really nice, fun things in a projection too, but there'll always be a part of you that's like, why am I not just being me? And why did I say, yeah, I'm great, and I feel sick? You know, so they look good, but you still don't ever have that feeling of connecting because you're going off of, you should say you're fine. Because you don't want anyone else to be uncomfortable, full stress. So just say it. But it's very hard to feel like you're really living fully when you're running off of false parameters to keep you safe. So I was excited to see the shoulds and the shouldn'ts because I know that something's very destructive. They have the saying like, stop shoulding all over yourself. You got to catch those so you can stop shitting all over yourself. And it's this that's shitting on you. You're not. You just forget. And then you beat yourself up for doing it. Oh, why don't I just get it? That's just projection again. It's seeing you as less than this image that the superego shows of you as absolutely perfect and accepted and loved and safe and nurtured, and no one will ever question you. There'll never be a problem because we're going to do it so right. No one will ever question us. There'll never be a threat. So it's what shoulding and shouldn'ting you. Can't wait to do the subtitle on that. So think of whatever those other words are that are like shoulds and shouldn'ts, because they're not coming from you. If there's something you ought to do or would be good for you to do, you will do it. You don't have to be shoulded and shoulded into it. Look for those words. That's the pointer that it's coming, and it's already started. Even if it looks good or even if it looks terrible, that's where it is. Should and shouldn't is the switch. So look for them. I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to put notes up around that. I can remember that. Because it's so easy to go, well, should is a positive word. It means you should be great. You should be giving. You should be kind. I will be when I am. And the moment I am those things, that's when I should be, because that makes sense. That's coming from my heart. Anytime before then that has a thought that starts to make me feel guilty or badgering me or nagging me in any way, you're in a projection. And you're not a choice. And you won't feel connected. You'll feel funny. Even if something turns out great, you're like, but I didn't do it. I didn't really want to say it that way. So if you have to step back and say, you know, something feels off or funky, that's because the projection's running and you're not connected. So take a 5-minute break. Go into the bathroom, send a text out, go, you know, I'm feeling this. I've got to clear that out because I notice I'm shoulding myself or shouldn'ting. I don't want to say that because I have to type it. Okay. So I'm excited that I saw that. Because I was doing it last night too. Like, you should be getting this perfect. You should be getting this right. You shouldn't have any more problems. You should this. And it's like, oh my gosh. Well, I'm not that image that it talks about. It was designed to keep me safe from a world that isn't here to hurt me. So with should and shouldn'ts aren't based on experience, reality, the truth, anything. It's a story and it's doing its job, and that's it. Okay. Bye. But again,